Have you ever cooked rice, watched it bounce, clam, and even smell a little bit strange, and then wondered, wait, is this even real rice? Well, you're not alone. Across Africa, Asia, and beyond, millions of people are convinced that they might be eating plastic. But the truth is, fear grows fastest when you don't understand what's on our plate. And that's exactly why this show exists. Welcome to Science on Your Plate, the podcast where we break down the science behind your food so you can trust what you eat again. Today, I'm joined by a rice milling, grading, and quality expert who understands what happens to rice from the farm to the mill to your kitchen. And together, we are going to answer the one question that everyone is afraid to ask. Is plastic rice real? And most importantly, we are going to show you how to differentiate real rice from fake rice. So, let's get into it. Brian, kindly introduce yourself and brag a bit.
Where? Hapa mtanisamehe tu. The English is Englishing. Okay, my name is Brian Odhiambo. I'm a food scientist by profession. I have over 5 years experience in working in the milling industry as in production sector. I worked in the quality department, so I'm the guy for you guys. Ukiongelea mchele, the rice, we are ricing this thing. So welcome to the podcast. This is science on your plate.
Thank you. Like you said, so, it's on your glass currently.
Young is on my glass, so I'm drinking healthy.
So Brian, before we even talk about the meat,
yes,
kindly just tell us, what is rice at a grain level? What is it? What are we really eating when we eat rice?
Okay, rice is just simple. Mchele tu.
Mchele tu?
Hakuna. Okay, rice is from a genus called Oryza. So Oryza is species inaitwa sativa. If you can recall, you're going to secondary school, there was something called the class, the kingdom, family, order, genus, and species. So rice is from the grass family. So the grass family is so it's from the grass family that grow also in wetlands. So in the paddy family. So the wetland is also called the paddy. So in some countries they call rice paddy. Na hata ukionanga wale mtu anajitanga paddy wood pond.
So Brian, wetlands, is it a flooded area or what are wetlands?
Wetlands definitely flooded area. Imejaa maji mingi, so it's performed better. So just as I said, that rice come from the grass family. The grass family will have things like wheat, barley. They're also part of that. But the difference from this family is rice is from the wetlands, the flooded area, so apparently the lowland area, where it's mainly characterized by hill. It's temperate regions, temperature inafai kuwe juu, and pia ku flooded. Ukiongelea flooded pia unaona kama high humidity. For example, look at Mwea region. It's on the lowland where the rivers always flood the environment, so it can really grow. And what characterizes that is also high humidity. So it performs better in places where there's high humidity. Secondly, as we talk of rice again as a grain, it's a major source of starch, major source of carbohydrate. It's a carbohydrate definitely. So ukiona rice is its composition is 80%. It is carbohydrate. It has a bit of protein. It has a bit of starch, and it's also rich in vitamins depending on what kind of rice.
Oh, okay.
So naweza sema tinakula rice hivi. For example, consider when unaenda gym, unakwambia usikule ugali, usikule wheat, unakwambia kula mchele. There are reason behind it sana.
Mbona by the way?
Ukiona mtu akienda gym, for example, mtu akiwa gym, anatry to reduce the gluten, and unaambia kwenda gym, do stop eating products ziko na high gluten. And you find that most carbohydrates from the grass family like wheat ziko na gluten, barley iko na gluten content, na gluten ni kitu nafanya elasticity, na utaki vitu zenye very hard to break.
So gluten is hard to break.
It's a complex starch form, so it's a complex protein, so it's very hard to break. So inatakanga kitu yenye it's very easy to process. So rice give you that simple starches that you can easily break. And secondly, pia the advantage that you need energy. Mtu anaenda gym, anaenda kubeba chuma. Akienda kubeba chuma, anataka kitoka hivi, kuna ukishaenda gym uone mtu abebe chuma faint, then unapea glucose. But glucose is simple sugars. Yeah. But now if ukiona this, the major contributor of carbohydrates are mostly in starch. So rice give you the best quality of starch. Yes.
It's actually one of the reasons people believe that rice, some type of rice is plastic, is because there are certain kinds of rice when you cook them, they bounce, they clump together. Why is that?
Okay, the reason why rice bounce, that one will take us, for us to understand this, you need to understand how rice is built up. So rice, there are different variety of rice. The high quality rice, low quality, medium quality, and low quality rice. But now rice is categorized in different way. One, you can categorize rice based on the length of the kernel. Basically, ukiangalia rice, atuiti to grain, scientifically tunaita is a kernel. So rice can be categorized based on kernel. One, ukiangalia kernel, tunaangalia you have long grain, medium grain, and short grain, or a mixture of both.
Yes.
It can also be categorized based on the composition of what you compare. Ukiangalia composition, tunaangalia kile the starch, because tumesema rice is basically a bigger source of carbohydrate, which is the starch. So the starch, kuna two types of starch. Starch molecules. So they are the amylose and the amylopectin. Yes. Okay. So ukiona the rice that is rich in amylose, they are always transparent, because the amylose is a single the starch molecules are arranged in a single line. So once they are arranged in a single line, they tend to be transparent. Na hapo ndio watu nasema this is plastic rice.
Okay.
So the ile ikonane inakuanga kama chalky white, hii watu wanajua kabisa. This mostly is rich in amylopectin. It's also a branch chain. So the ones which are rich in amylose, they tend not to be sticky. And they zinaweza fura vizuri, because they become fluffy. The one which are
ni transparent. Amylose transparent.
Yes.
White one, amylopectin.
So tunaangalia the science in your plate. Sorry. So the science in the plate now, you should also know the amylose and the amylopectin. That's very interesting. So you'll find that the ones, the myths that go around, but wakisema kuwa rice is plastic. Tutaonyesha hizo rice, utaona kumbe ni watu wanaona. Me on a personal basis, hata in a competitive ground as a business perspective, tunaona kuwa this is just a myth that competitors wanatumia ndio wa sell their product, because you find that hata tukiona the basmati rice, tukiongea hapo tutaelewa, the basmati rice is not grown in Africa. It's grown in the Asian countries.
You talked about busyness there. So is it like it is realistic business-wise to even create plastic rice? What's the cost of creating plastic rice vis-a-vis creating real rice?
There's no plastic rice. The fact is, you should
it doesn't even exist.
Wewe kwanza mtu akupea plastic rice, utakula. Hiki tumuta nakwambia there's plastic rice. No,
and where did this come from?
You remember back, because this plastic rice is just in Eastern Africa. The myth revolved Eastern Africa. Kuna time tuko na shortage of rice, and the government had to import rice. Vile rice ilikuja wasema rice kutoka Ni plastic.
It's like the plastic fish.
Yes, it's just the phenomena is plastic. So because the reason for this podcast, which I also understand, is we need to give the information.
Exactly.
So mtu akiona kuwa hii kitu ni of good quality na hii kitu nauza, na mtu akikula ijue atasema ile rice nakulanga kawaida pana. Ni kama mtu uende kwa duka ya mtu upewe nguo, unaenda kumoso ukitoka kwa nyumba yako unaenda kubai kitu origi, si ndio? Uende kwa duka ya mtu uone this thing is cheap na ni original, si ndio? Uende ukanunua, uvae, ujaribu mpaka si watu walikuwa sema hii kitu ni fake. Na mbona inakaa original? The same way rice. Uende kubai hiyo rice watanda kwa plastic.
You said that, and something has come to mind. There were recently some TikTok videos. I don't want to mention names. You see, when someone is selling some cheap stuff, like they're very affordable, and then another person is selling expensive stuff, and they're like, those ones are fake.
Yes.
Those are original.
Yes. So it's just the idea. Minasema is a competitive way of someone being in the business part of what he's doing. Ukiona hata mtu akikuja kuuza kitu mpya na na trend sana, enemies, haters will be there saying huyu anauza fake. For me, always try. The best thing is ukijaribu kitu ukiona fake achana nayo. Mtu akwambia fake, no hata kilo moja, is not a waste of money than to buy in bulk, because the day that you lack the information about that product, ama unasikia kutoka kwa mtu, itakufanya like you are losing a lot. Utaenda kubai Balenciaga kule na kuna mtu hapa anakuletea na bei rahisi, unaelewa? So the best thing is always try, and wanasema all successful people they were once failures because they tried. Wakajua kitu ni mbaya, wakasema toke, ama alitry akajua hii ni mzuri akainvest. Wewe bado ukisema ati this rice si mzuri, mtu ameinvest is making millions of money because he's selling to those people who know this rice. But we bado jui, you are running away from that. Yes. Exactly.
So when I burn a rice, I'm sure maybe some people tried during that time, they were saying this is plastic. So when I burn a real rice, you say plastic doesn't exist, but let me just see, still use real rice. What do you expect to see?
Rice is a component of starch. Na one thing starch ikiban inatoa moshi. So zote unajua mtu akwambia burn hiyo unaona moshi. Sasa moshi hii ni black in moshi. There's content of that moshi. Ukiban starch itatoa moshi na itatoa harufu. Na ukiona ukitaka kujua plastic, moshi ukiban plastic automatically it melts. So ujua the real thing hata kufanya the burn test, ukiona tu ile kiban it will turn brown. But plastic uban automatically melt before atianze kutoa hiyo moshi because of the temperature. But starch, because it's made of the molecules, definitely burn at inaweza, it depend on the quantity or the temperature of hiyo moto unatumia.
Itasani brown ama black?
Zote. It's ukiangalia the process, starch is sugar. But sugar ukiangalia tunaitwanga mildred reaction. It goes from brown like it still turn black. So it will tell me the temperature kitu yako unatumia.
That you must try. You must try today. Okay. And now we also have different grades. Which are these different grades, and what do millers measure when they say now this is grade 1, this is broken? You tell us. Yes.
Umeenda mbio. Wacha tuwarudishe karibu. Watu hata before tuongelee grades, bila tu nilikuwa najaribu because nilikupea kwa snip ya rice kwa hiyo introduction, because mtu watu waelewe hiki, they have to understand hii rice vizuri how it's been, because hata before tuingilie grade unafaa tujue hii rice kuna nini ndani. What are the parts of rice? Zile parts za rice, hii rice iko na hii nini. So rice we tulisema tu is a grain from the grass family, ndio. Rice yenyewe grain, mtu akipea grain iko na parts, different parts. The first outer part ile ukitoka tu kwa shamba unapata husk, Hiyo husk ndio ina protect from the environment ikimachua. Hiyo ni kama the pod. Ukiona beans, watu wanaelewa pod. So husk ndio kitu na protect the grain ndani. Then ukimove ndani unapata kitu inaitwa bran. The bran is not the nutritious part of it. Hapa ndio inabeba zile vitu inaitwa antioxidant, vitamin, mineral salts. So hata tukielezeanga brown rice utaelewa why brown rice ndio kwambia mwanamke akiwa pregnant pia brown bread. Mtu mgonjwa pia brown rice, brown bread. You realize that the brown part of it which makes the rice which is brown is the one that have the antioxidant and the mineral salt. And the disadvantage of the bran is ukiweka rice iko brown, it will go something called rancidification because the bran itself iko na mafuta. Tukiona composition of rice unamwambia it has a certain percentage of fat. Na wewe unaikulanga hapo uone hiyo mafuta.
Hebu muulize rancidification ni nini? Awaambie in plain language. What is rancidification?
Okay, what happens is kila mafuta before hata unaona ukienda kwako kuna mafuta ile mafuta isha processiwa ikatolewa kwa branched chain fatty acids to short chain and inaitwa saturated fatty acids. Naelewa. So mafuta kama iko na branch chain iko unsaturated, meaning that the carbon molecules are exposed, so they are reactive. Unaelewa. So bran iko na unsaturated fatty acids. So the moment is exposed to air, moment ushatoa tu your husk yake because kama bado iko close to the husk is not exposed to oxygen. Ushatoa your husk, it's exposed to the environment which is the oxygen. So inaenda a process of called oxidation. So your process of oxidation inakuanga na off flavors, off odors. Unapata rice wacha nitumie lemon. Umesikia
lemon language inaoza.
I'm a scientist, so I tend to use the best language for a science class.
Tafanya to switch off. Bring us back.
Harufu. Unasikia mtu akipitango anasikia sasa unaweza pita place mchele iko instead ukisikia ile harufu ya pisho unasikia ka off flavor. So here is because of the brownness in bread in the rice. So hiyo itakuonyesha kuwa hii mchele si ya leo, imekaa hata kama miezi 2 ikiwa brown. So ile exposure of the fatty acid over the nini inafanya oxidation. The oxidation process ndio inakuanga racidification.
And that is why brown rice spoils faster.
Yes, that explain why brown rice ni kama 1 month 2 months unafaa umeikula.
So like should we store it differently from the normal rice or?
Ushaenda kwa duka umepata brown rice ikiuzwa?
Nilienda jana nikinunua hizi samples tutatumia.
Na ukimuuliza huyu mtu ulinunua kwa why is this brown rice bakana amazing? Atakwambia hata ukienda utapata ndiko na quantity kidogo. Kama ni mingi gunia moja ambaye anajua in 1 month itakuwa nimeuzia because brown rice is for specific customer. Haiwezi pata uende supermarket ama package upate kwa packaging. No, mtu akwambia this is brown rice niko kwa package anakudanganya because the shelf life of brown rice is very short. So unaweza pata place watu anaemile kitoa brown anajua in 1 month atakuwa ameuza na watu wamekula. Hata kwa nyumba huwezi weka brown rice, utakuwa na complain nimeuziwa rice mbaya. But it's not because of that, because of the process we explain, oxidation process of fat. The advantage of brown rice is very nutritious. So being that nutritious, what one tend to, because people buy things because of what they want, not because of buy to chakula nataka kukula. I buy food because of anything I get from that food. Hata kama tutakuongea what millers wanapata from that value addition, we only sell value that we add to the product. The reason why utapata ukienda kwa farmer mtu anakuuzia ile mchele tu, unaona hii mchele si ni ile tu na buy kwa duka. Why is it cheaper here and because market is buying expensive? Because of the value mwenye ameprocess hii chakula mpaka kugradie hakuipackage, hiyo pesa yote lazima because we know that our customer pay for value.
Yeah.
He's not paying for nataka kitu, is pay for value. Once you know that your customer pay for value, you make for him or her kenye nataka, then hiyo factor una add up, unapata share yako. So kwa hii biashara ya mchele, hata yule mama mboga pale ama mama wa mchele, kama kuna mama mboga mama mchele ana add value, na value maybe amekuwa ni kutoa place iko mpaka place hapo, then hiyo price pesa ndio maana nimenunua pale mpaka hapa, nimetumia ka transport, lazima nipate ka kitu, lazima niongeze. So that's the value, because wewe huwezi endea pale.
Yeah, they're bringing it closer to you.
Yes.
And now that you've said brown rice lasts maybe about 2 months, you say that? So like these packaged ones, do they also last 2 months, or they last longer?
No.
Tell me more.
Okay.
And when you're breaking that down, you now also bring us to know the different types of rice.
Yeah.
Since you started dissecting the brown rice.